Good Monday morning, everyone.
Morning.
Off to a late start. So what's up, everybody? How's your weekend? How are things going?
Wasn't too bad.
Weekend was pretty good.
That's good.
My weekend felt long.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's a lag in the Hangouts chat.
I was having some issues. I had to log out and back in.
What do you mean a lag?
Because there's messages popping up in. There was a message or two that popped up in between messages that were already sent.
Oh yeah, I was having that problem as well.
Ugh. Hangouts. Who trusts it? Not I. Actually, I do trust Hangouts. I trust Hangouts a lot.
So over the weekend, I was having a problem with my computer. It was like using 100% CPU. I had no idea what was wrong with it. It was super slow.
Were you able to resolve what was going on with it?
Yeah, I quit using it.
You quit using.
Yeah.
That's one way to resolve it.
So is it still doing that?
I don't have the computer anymore.
Oh.
I'm using my laptop again. So I don't know what was wrong with it. So people looked at it, and like some tech people that I know from Saturday Night Hangout, Brantley said it was fine, but it was not fine at all. It was not normal. Like the only window I would have open was the Hangouts window, and it would still run at 100%. I have no idea. And even now, I have like 7 windows
She got
open.
infected already.
Nuh-uh. Even now, I have like 7 windows open, and I'm only... No, it's not. And I'm running at 35%. So does anybody have any ideas on how to keep that number down?
First, see what's using it.
Well, so if you go into your your task manager, is that the only way you can see what's using it?
Yeah, or you can use Process Explorer to get a better view of it. It'll break things down even more. And that's a sysinternals tool that's built into d7.2.
All right. Well, let me take this opportunity to let our users who are not techs themselves, if you're having a problem like this with your computer and you need to find a technician locally to work on your computer, take a look through our tech directory. That I'm sure you'll find someone in our directory local to you that could help you with your problems, and I'll post that link in the chat.
Okay.
Good plot.
Yep. That's where I was going with it. Good job, Proctor. So, then anyway, but the here, I'll
So
go ahead
were
and
you able
share
to
it.
determine which process was using up the CPU by using Task Manager?
No, I had something up here that said system compression, and it was like all the way up at the top, and we couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. Some people have said that, or some people said that it was possibly because I started off at Windows 10 and then went back to Windows 7 and then back to Windows 10.
That's not it. I told you, all of those people don't have any idea about how to fix computers. See, look, it's
Okay, if
part
it
of
was
Windows. They
infected.
didn't even know that that was part of Windows. And look, my processor runs at 100% all the time, and I have no problems.
Okay, but mine was super slow.
What
It's all in
what
your head.
operating system do you have, Johnny?
Right now I have Windows 10.
Okay.
But yeah, for anybody else out there, that's part of the latest November update. Since apparently even the tech industry giants don't know that
Well,
it's
I don't have it
system and
right now.
compressed memory. It's part of the latest Windows 10 November update, so if you've updated to the most current build through Windows updates, you'll have this, and it shows you system and compressed memory, and what it's trying to do is take the memory that you have and compress it down. But that's not what would have been using 100% of the processor power. Like, that's not what's using 100% of my processing power, and it's designed to speed the system up.
Okay, well, it was not speeding my system up at all.
System speed is all about perception nowadays.
When it was taking 10 minutes to load a page, that is not sped up at
Loading
all.
a web page has nothing to do with system speed. I had to explain that to several clients before. The loading a web page depends on your internet speed. Opening the web browser to show that page is the only thing that depends on your system speed. Your system has to be extremely slow before it affects how fast you get web pages.
Did it help your
And
problem if you closed the browser and reopened it?
No, did not. I restarted, I uninstalled the browser and reinstalled it. After I installed
Nick
Mozilla
wanted to know
Firefox
how
on
the
it,
solitary test was.
I don't know what that means.
If you open up solitaire, did it open up fast?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't check.
It really doesn't help speed Undertaker. I think it's designed for systems that are 2 gigs of RAM or the 4 gig normal for your cheap systems nowadays.
But after because the machine did not have Mozilla Firefox on it, and somebody recommended I get it, so I installed it, and after I did that, I wasn't able to get back into Chrome. Like, having both browsers up wouldn't run. My computer just wouldn't do it.
Alright.
I wished I would have known that, Nick, because I did not try that.
I don't think
We
Windows
talked
10 has
about it on
Solitaire
an
installed
earlier
by
show.
default.
It does.
Oh, it does? I
It's
couldn't find
not
it on
the
the
same
system the other day.
Solitaire.
It's a different Solitaire?
Yeah, it's like a Solitaire Games or something. I don't know if it's default. I know it's on
Yeah.
mine.
It's like a whole suite of little solitaire type games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this. Microsoft Solitaire Collection. And this is loaded off the internet now, so it's not exactly a true system speed test anymore. Yeah, you see how fast the cards get laid out. That's your system speed test.
I remember that game. That was like the only game we were allowed to play on the computer back then when we had dial-up.
Well, the file name for Solitaire looks like an acronym for something else.
Nick is saying from the chat that we should get the soul.exe from 9X or Windows XP system. See how it loads.
Well, since I got rid of the computer, it works much better now.
An Undertaker said he has a client that called it Mogfiller's Fur Fogs. What? If that's what they called Solitaire, I would have loved to hear some of their other names for other parts of the computer. So what else we got?
Hello, comp correct.
Anyone else out there watching, you can join us at foolishtechshow.com or foolishit.com/live. Jump in our live chat and talk directly with us and fill some of the dead air. Oh yeah, I have heard some interesting terms for foxfire. That's probably the most common one.
Yeah.
I use foxfire.
That's what my mom.
Or simply
That's
just
what
calling it
my mom calls
Mozilla.
it. Yeah. That's
I'm
what
like,
she
Mozilla
got.
what?
That's what she changed calling it to. Because she'd say foxfire, and I'm like, Mom, it's Firefox.
I think foxfire does sound cooler. Did you all know that Netscape now makes its money leasing their code
Oh, really?
from Netscape? I don't remember how I learned that, but I learned that recently. I didn't even know Netscape still existed.
I believe that it is currently owned by AOL.
Nick says we do a little bit of that too. Leasing our code.
So how is everyone liking the new G Plus look? I keep switching back to the old one because I couldn't even find events or hangouts in it.
Yep. I tried the new one time and I switched right back to the old one.
I honestly don't use it that much.
I don't either, but I've still got mine set on the old one for when I do use it.
I probably wouldn't know the difference. I probably wouldn't know if it was old or new.
Oh, you would know if it was new. Because it's like completely different and gives you like half of the options now. It's like they're separating their stuff again. Isn't it about time for the other Google head to take over?
The other what?
The other Google head. Who's in charge right now? Sergi or Brian? Don't they have like a set time to trade off?
Don't remember.
Oh, it's Sundar Pichai now is the CEO. Who's the CEO of Alphabet? Oh, it still comes up with Sundar. Yeah, I guess he replaced Larry Page. Google makes things so
They
complicated.
got rid of Hangouts in the new one?
Yeah, the new one doesn't have Hangouts or events or anything on that. And it's not that they got rid of it, they just separated it.
Oh yeah, 'cause that Hangouts.com thing.
Yeah, and Google Photos is on its own now.
Oh, I can get to my photos from the new
Yeah, but
one.
it's separated.
Oh.
They're trying to separate all of their stuff again.
Hmm. not sure why they'd want to separate it. It seems more logical if things are integrated that people will use your product instead of going to a competitor's.
Or that
Right.
you get sued for incorporating too much shit into your stuff and get
Like an antitrust thing.
yeah. But I think they just figured out that no one was using Google Plus like they expected it. Same thing with Google Wave. They expected it to change the world and it didn't, so they just gave up on it. That's why we want the old Google back, where they didn't just give up on things. They just kept pushing at it.
They're accountable to shareholders now.
I wonder how that affected people that had Google stock, since they split into Alphabet and all the other stuff under it.
Well, good thing I didn't. Well, good thing I didn't do that handwriting challenge.
That's like the easiest way to spoof someone posting something on social media. It's to put a picture of yourself up with a blank sheet of paper.
It's not blank, it's the handwriting challenge. I know what Nick is saying.
Yeah, he's talking about memes where people have a sheet of paper with something written on it. I think it started off on Facebook with him doing, get 1,000 likes and my mommy says she'll quit smoking.
I don't think that's what he's talking about.
And then it ran into people doing it so much that they have, get 1,000 likes and it won't mean shit. So our mama says we have to do stuff. Thanks, CompCorrect. I've actually seen a lot of memes where people have just held up blank sheets of paper to see what
Okay.
comes out with it.
I thought you were talking about a different handwriting challenge where you write like handwriting challenge to see who has the best handwriting. I've seen that on Google Plus too.
Oh, that's the easiest way to get a picture of a piece of paper with someone that you can use for any nefarious purpose. So with photo editing nowadays, it's so easy to just turn that blank sheet of paper and say whatever you want. That's why you have pictures of like Picard out there saying stuff he didn't on a sheet of paper. The ones I hate the most are the dogs with sheets of paper.
If I get 1,000 likes, I'll get a doggy treat. Or I'm being punished because I peed on the living room.
Yeah.
You know those dogs didn't write those signs. And you know someone got yelled at a
yeah.
whole lot to sit still to take that picture with that stupid sign on it.
Nick, I
Felt
just
like I'm about
overlooked
to
those.
yell at this dog.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Are we gonna sell her to fix your computer?
No, we don't need to fix my computer now. It's problem's fixed.
If someone wants to buy this mug so we can fix Johnny's computer, auction is on now. Place your bids in the chat. It tries to look cute to deceive you. That's a selling point. It barks at possums at night.
She's crying. She hears you talking about her.
You hear me talking about you? You hear me talking about you? Do you want to come up here and say hey? Hey to the world? Come here. Look at the camera. No. Fine.
When do you get to test out? Oh. I'm reading the chat. Catching up.
Same here.
Nick needs to get with you after the show, Bradley. In case you didn't read that.
Okay. Proctor, when were you going to do the repair shopper stuff?
I was going to do that after I finish with PC Repair Tracker, and I've got at least 2 more segments on that. Maybe we could put it into one.
You can have 2 time slots this week if you want.
I think I'm good with one.
Oh.
I like how I tried to take over this show, but Brantley came in with the whole, it's 'cause you're infected. But instead of going into detail about how to fix it. Come correct. Uses Repair Shopper.
There's no fixing it if you get infected within the day of reloading it.
Oh yeah, it's like
I can fix it by disabling your internet access.
it's like 42 degrees Fahrenheit here. It's freezing.
Means it's like 44 degrees in the house.
It's like 5.5 degrees Celsius here. It's 107 degrees where Undertaker's at.
Mm-hmm. It's spring.
That's more like summer.
Oh yeah, apparently Microsoft has pulled that update. Let's see why.
The compression thing?
Well, the latest build of Windows 10 was released in mid-November, and it was the first RTM update to Windows 10. It's kind of like their first service pack is what they were equating it to. Oh, so if you were still within your grace period of a month from upgrading to Windows 7 or Windows 8, that update got held back. So if you haven't cleaned your hard drive and cleaned the old OS out, and you can still go back to 7 or 8, you wouldn't have gotten it. But apparently some people have had some issues with it. Oh no, they say it hasn't been pulled, it's just rolling out over time. So if you haven't gotten it, you still may get it in the future. But the other big update that came with that is when you do a fresh install now, it will recognize Windows 7 and Windows 8 keys. So you don't have to wait on the upgrade process to go through.
Awesome. And that is currently the case, or going to be the case?
It's currently the case with the latest one, as long as that's what you download when you download it. I haven't tried downloading it recently.
All right, well, I'm getting ready to download it and see.
Did you still have that one you downloaded last week?
Yeah, I do.
That one should be it.
Okay. I need to download Home anyway. I downloaded Pro the other day.
ComCorrect uses Toggle as well.
Yeah, he says he likes it. Toggle being a time tracking software and service that we started using last week.
Inferno OS has been ported to the Raspberry Pi. Bell Labs developed an OS named Plan 9. It's still in use today, but never got the momentum that Unix did. And in 1996, Bell Labs decided to shift its focus to Inferno, an operating system that was meant to challenge Java. That's interesting. So last week, News Tonight had an interesting post about Pennies. Trying to find that link.
Still mad.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Hmm.
Morning.
Pretty funny clip on pennies and how they cost more to make
Yeah, it's done.
worth.
And so is this. Let's talk about something else. When you get back. How's it going this morning, Proctor?
Oh, I had an allergy attack right before the show, and I'm like jacked up on antihistamines.
Nice. Nice.
I feel like my head is floating.
Wow. What kind of, like the productive antihistamines or the non-productive antihistamines?
What did I take?
Look at his eyes. That should answer the question right there.
Yeah.
Is it Benadryl?
No, it's not
Sudafed or
Benadryl. Man.
Benadryl?
Benadryl kills me.
Okay. So you're going to have a productive morning then? The
Oh, yeah.
Sudafed. Yeah. Okay, good. How's it going, Johnny?
Pretty good. How are you?
I imagine I'm fine. I'm fine. I imagine you're not prepared for visual appearance.
I am not at all. Did you do something with your hair?
I did. I put it in the trash can.
It looks like it.
Yeah, I just got rid of more of it. Mhm. I like it. I wanted to shave. I've been wanting to shave it since I'm going bald. I just wanted to just be done with it. But I didn't want the maintenance of actually shaving it because I did that before, a couple of years ago for a while, and it was like every other day I was doing this, and it sucked. And now it's also winter. Well, I guess this isn't really much different, but yeah, I just didn't want the maintenance of that, but I also don't want the maintenance of cutting it all the time, So I just decided to go shorter. And since I'm going bald, I guess it would be the point. It doesn't. The shorter, the better, I guess.
It's all going to go away eventually, anyways.
No comb overs here. I know. I do have. I've been thinking about the logo change actually, but it's such an icon. I can't. By the time anyone ever saw my face on video, though, I had already the receding hairline well beyond what there's not one in the headshot really, but there was by the time I was ever even on video or in Foolish IT. That caricature was done in 2005. It was a real caricature that's also on my G Plus thing. It was it was like 2002 or something. No, 2004. That era. And it was just a caricature I had done while I was drunk at Busch Gardens riding roller coasters. And it was like a thing, and it was like me sitting on a beer keg and all this other stuff, and that was my head. And then with the logo for Foolish IT, I uploaded it to 24-hour logo or 48-hour logo or something, whatever it's called. And as part of my design inspiration for whatever, I don't know, they were like, I don't know, I just threw that up there, I don't know why. And the guy who did the logo just cut my head and blue, it made it blue, and that was it. And simplified it, and I was like, wow, I like that. So it's such an icon now that we can't get rid of it. I wanted to have everyone else's head done too, but we have never been in an opportune time and area where we found a caricature artist to do everyone, and then we really just need a digital guy. And
Every time I've found a caricature artist, I've never been in a time or place that I wanted to sit there and have.
they have one at Spice World, the digital artist there at Spice World, but no one had time to go do it, and the lines were like hours long anyway. And every time you get in line, the guy would go on break.
Yeah, the line was worse than Disney World.
Yeah.
That's half of it, and then the other half is sitting there while they do it.
That wasn't so bad. That only, took about 15 minutes. Because this guy was doing like digital character. He was doing it all in the thing, like straight up, and it was almost, it was a shame because it was almost like it was more detailed and with color than my head, but we could have just shown him that and been like, hey, you can whip this out in 5 seconds, I bet. But anyway. We have an artist down the street. I don't know if they do caricatures. I searched for caricatures in my area, caricature artists, and Google came up with an artist that's literally right down the road from me. We walk past him in the morning when we walk. Apparently he has a studio in his house, like a lot of people do around here. So anyway, I wanted to talk about software. I mean, we're going to do it after the show. I don't care if we do it after the show or during the show. I guess everybody just left now. So see you, Glenn. Is that all viewers gone? Did you leave, Undertaker? Comp correct? Did y'all leave?
That viewers thing is incredibly inaccurate.
I know, but when it fluctuates, I do, take notice.
I think it's only if you're watching it directly from YouTube, or possibly the G+. Because I've had lots of people watching the embedded, and it's never showed any viewers.
Yeah. I was on the embedded earlier. I don't know how many viewers you saw watching.
Comp correct would like us to know that his name is James.
Where are you seeing this?
In the chat.
Oh, I see that. Oh, way up there. Oh, James. Cool. Undertaker, like I know your name too, and I say it sometimes and I don't even think anyone notices, but do you mind? Are you still there?
It's got to be.
I don't like
3
I don't like
a.m.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty late for him. He probably fell asleep. Because then there's like a 30-second delay at least in the broadcast from what they say, but Oh, I didn't even see. Oh, he is there. And James, Comp Correct, said he'd been using Toggle for about a year. It integrates with Repair Shop R. He can import his time with one click and charge clients based on this info. That is neat. Okay, Undertaker was incorrect. Do you mind, Undertaker, if I call you by your name? I don't have to, but I just find myself wanting to do it. Not yet? Okay.
He's not yet sleeping.
Oh. Oh, that's right. It's the delay.
Yeah.
And video stream.
That was a good coincidence, though.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
He says it's okay.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Glenn. That makes me feel better. Even with Michael too. I don't like it with Michael. He wants to be APIREO or something. I don't know what that is, and I can't stand that. I'm just like, come on, man.
Yeah, I'm not even saying that.
Yeah. I hate it when he forces me to say it just to tell him what I'm talking about or something if I have to reference.
Well, just say it exactly like you said it. Call him APREO.
Undertaker says yes, you can call him Glenn.
Sweet. Yes, I saw that.
James left.
His name is Glenn, right?
That's what he just said. You can call him. I don't know if his name's Glenn or not.
Well, he might have just said I can call him Glenn no matter what his name was.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know what his name is. Could be.
I'm pretty sure his name's Glenn. I think I can muster up his last name in my head if I think real hard.
Glenn, we're gonna need you holding up a sheet of white paper saying you are Glenn.
Oh, James changed his name.
To James?
James,
Yeah.
correct.
Oh, sweet. We're starting a trend.
James, in the future, you can do /Nick space, then your new username, and it'll change your username.
We didn't do anything this show, did we? We were late and we didn't really do anything on the show, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, I tried
So
to
it's,
start something.
can we just like, I mean, since, you know, since there's like, I was just thinking since there's like, you know, no content really to speak of, this would be one of those like, let's make it private, you know, when we're done. I don't know if we do that or not, if we're leaving everything public or not, but I was thinking that like if we have just a no-show, you know, that we don't leave that content public so people don't like see it and go, oh, and that'd be the first one they see or something and go, oh, that sucks. I'll watch that again.
We had some interesting banter this time. No worse off than any of our previous. No.
True, interesting banter is one thing, but you know, I mean, interesting banter is fine for live and killing time, but it's not for pre-recorded content. It's not for syndication, I don't think.
We did talk about a computer problem that Johnny was having and plug the tech directory.
Yeah, but
or so.
That's not good. That's a whole show to look through to get. No.
No, it was at the very beginning.
Well, anyway, I don't even know what I was getting at, and I certainly don't want to go back to doing what we were doing before. Never, not at all. But it occurred to me that the two in chat, especially one wanting to know about d7x, might be interested in any conversation we have, which I wanted to do after the show, if you're prepared to do so, about the definition system and some things.
Okay.
Glenn, James, would you guys like us to stay on? I mean, would you mind, Brantley? I don't care either. I just thought I'd throw it out there. I had to pee. Actually, this is really dumb because other than coding, there's no reason to be on. But I can just talk to you about what I'm going to talk to you about right now. It'll only take a few minutes, apparently. Do you know? Do you have your definition interpretation code written yet for in crypto prevent, or were you going to focus on that at all at this point because of the?
I wasn't doing the interpretation stuff because I was basically just going to pull it from what people entered through the program.
Right. Yeah, and those rules would be those rules are going to be different. Yeah, those rules are going to be exactly the way they are. And I'm thinking of, I was talking about you're not even doing it at all.
Yeah, if you're talking about the kill 'em all whitelist, then yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
You weren't gonna okay.
I could add that in.
Well, I don't know. I guess I was under the impression that you were going, since the kill 'em all, when we were first talking about it, the integration. Excuse me, guys. The integration was going to be that. Yeah, no, that was really cool. The integration was going to be that. Entirely silent, and then, but was it going to have the whitelisting capabilities for that integration for the basic crypto prevent A, and B, was it would you be doing the interface for editing those definitions, or would I, if we were even doing them? I guess is where I'm going with that.
As far as I had planned, I was just going to have a launch kill 'em all from the system tray
Okay.
or from.
And I'll do it. Okay. That's all. Okay, perfect. Then we don't need to talk any more about it right now.
Because we were going to include kill 'em all with it, right? It had
Yeah.
everything, depending on what you had registered and all that.
Mm-hmm. So then we don't even need to talk about anything else because I'll have that all in kill 'em all then.
James really wants us to hang out and talk for a while, though. So if you want to talk about your definition system, I think it is interesting.
Oh, he says don't go anywhere. Yeah.
Other people would like to see what your plans are for the definitions that you have laid out there.
Yeah. James said, okay, and Undertaker's going to be around for another hour or so, too. Well, guys, where's the link to the drawing board? So,
Which one? The
public drawing board, yeah.
The real one? I got it.
Yeah, guys, if you open that link, that's our public drawing board, and we don't use it really so much like we should, but I'm trying to. And just so much of the stuff we go through is just so internal, and we're not sure what we should release or what should be known publicly and things, and we don't even want to think about it most of the time, so I don't. But and I'll just share this. I'll actually just share this on my screen too, so you can follow.
You're looking at the search path qualifiers or general qualifiers?
The search path. And basically, yeah, just on that link, we're in the d7x section, and then the config and definitions section, and then the search path qualifiers page. And that's the code that I was working on today. And I guess like the big change that I made, it was, oh, Brantley, you do need this code. You're going to need to modify, remember Michael's code for the, Michael did this code for the file system monitor.
I know he did, and what little of it he did, like I said, there's not really a need for it if they're inputting the folders to go through crypto prevent. I'm just straight pulling it. I don't ever have to go through a definition.
Yeah, no. Okay, but you were going to be able to configure your own folders for this watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way that was going.
I just wanted to, I had just thought that they could use the same definition system that everything else did. Yeah. I mean the same method instead of just having the folders all statically pathed. Yeah, because yeah. I mean, not necessary, but I mean, it's going to have something for you to, interpret your own folders. Like, I mean, on different systems, the same folder.
I'm trying to start it up to show you what I had.
Okay.
So right now, all I was basing it off of was this, where they could come in and browse for a folder they wanted to add. Which apparently I need to check out that route. But then they have them listed here, and then this gets pulled straight into the service.
Mm-hmm. Problem.
What?
You need the definition conversions. distributing that custom whitelist to different systems for the bulk resale edition. Being the issue.
True.
Why is that all scrunchied up in the web?
What's all scrunched up?
Mine was anyway. I just expanded it, but yeah, I have a trailing backslash on all this shit, and it's not supposed to technically be there. Because I changed that too. But guys, this is for y'all in the chat. This is basically what the definition files will be constructed of, and I mean, you know, obviously getting your translating the same path on different systems is going, you know, it's what the whole point of the variable. Not every Windows directory is in C:\Windows. Not every system partition is on the C drive. Granted, those are extreme cases, but not every DLL is in System 32. Sometimes they're in System Sysfile 64. Sometimes you want to differentiate between the two of them. Sometimes you want to get both of them. You know, so that's the point of all of these different evaluations for the regular system, System 32, and then System 64. And then I've got the examples up here on why you need that, basically, or what these are the what to do in what scenario. Yeah, and then these are the examples on what they actually evaluate to. I included and the reason why I'm not using Windows variables like system drive, for example, I'm using D or WinDIR/system32. That's fine and dandy for the older definition files in D7 and D7.2 even, but it's not for massive size definition files like it's in the custom downloads for D7.2's defunct right now. On the DMZ, you can get these massive files that Brantley has from whitelists, and you know, what are they, like 20 meg, 40 meg, something? They're huge, but it takes it takes a long time to download, and it takes a long time to work with that data in an array in memory. So shortening the strings essentially is what I'm doing. I'm shortening system drive to D. So that will save a lot of space in the definition file, and subsequently a lot of time all around, which is the point of that. And so you'll also notice that I have way more variables, and some of the things I've got in here, and this to me is important, Brantley, is start menu, startup folder. I mean, that's a lot of text to replace with 2 characters. So startup folder is nice because there's no, you know, stuff like that. I've got variables for things that there are not traditionally variables for, but a couple of those items. But we like looking in the startup folders for stuff too. Anyway, so that's what I think you're going to need to adapt Michael's code for. If you can find that and do that for the folder watch. Basically, Brantley, what I'm doing is for the folder watch code, for the interface that you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm basically suggesting is the interface takes the paths as they enter them and then converts them, you know, as the data is saved into these.
Yeah.
There is a way, I mean, we could, if you wanted to, we can toss around an idea to save the data exactly as they enter it, and then just convert this on the fly. I've toyed with that idea too, but that negates a lot of the performance benefit of having of the code in very large definition files. So, and adds extra processing time. It would actually be really, it wouldn't be noticeable at all for a small set of definitions like what a folder watch would have. You know what I'm saying? That would be a small set of definition files. But for the defunct definition files, which are massive, that's what I'm thinking about. So we probably should decide now, but I'm thinking if you want just to read and write for the interface all of the data exactly as they enter it, and then just have it converted on the fly when the folder watch starts up. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That way it'd be less confusing for the customer, especially in a consumer level product.
So still have them browse for the path, just have it convert it and save it as the.
Yeah, I'm saying I think the best way to do it would be, I mean, for you in your situation and for small lists, is to save it and load it exactly as they input it. You know, exactly as they browse for the path, and put it in the text box exactly as the browse path comes back, and save it to a text file exactly as that. But when you actually load up the folder monitor, use this conversion to translate your definition entry. So basically the folder monitor will read the definition as c:\windows/foo.exe, and it will convert it to less than w greater than \foo.exe, and then it will translate that into the Windows API call return for the Windows system folder \foo.exe.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going the other way around. Like it's like 3 steps instead of 2, but it's kind of logical to normalize everything.
Okay. I mean, I would still think it would probably be just as best to normalize it at the system entry level, especially if we're going to start using it for the, or if it's going to be used for the bulk stuff too.
Well, you know, I was also thinking about that too, but the definition file when it's read, if it were, say, named a certain way, if there were just a characteristic in the name to differentiate it, or even in the header of the file just to differentiate it between a regular definition file, then that's stored in English, I guess we'll just call it for right now, in standard input, then if we have a special type of definition file that is only read and expected to have the variables in them, so it won't be converted, I was thinking about doing that just for the massive defunct definition files. But I don't know. I mean, we can do the whole thing. Going about it the other way, we would be just converting everything to a variable before saving it as a definition file. Then for everything, if we were doing that, I think my suggestion would be to convert it to a variable as the person enters it in. So as soon as they, as soon as the browse button returns with the data, then you convert that to a variable and put that in the list box then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about would be best.
Okay.
It would just, I mean, you're right, it would cause confusion for regular people if they browse for Windows and got greater than W less than.
Yeah. Well, they need a good significant indication of the rules, I guess. That they can reference if we do that, obviously.
Yeah.
I will show you, and speaking of, just as simple as I'm doing right here is this is just as simple as I've got it for Kill 'Em All right now. Just a text box. I'm not doing a browser nothing, and this is just a text box. And just a free form, free entry text box, just like using Notepad. And this button will say save, and when they're on this tab. And I have adopted. I finally started with the wildcards and things like MS-DOS path rules. So, but basically what I've done is I've just explained, since there's only 2 wildcards, there's only really 2 things to explain. So I put, the text right there. But for for that, we would actually have to link to we would have to have some big, like maybe some basic explanation of what the variables, of why they appear there. Just a quick sentence or so about what the variables are, and then a link to the website which explains what they translate to. Yeah.
I think that.
Oh, but that's something, speaking of, that I've added to the Kill 'Em All process whitelisting. Just for anyone, yay, excitedness. Wildcards, asterisks, and question mark are now going to be supported. Hip hip hooray.
How do you process the question mark wildcard?
It's way easier than I thought it was going to be, Brantley. Way easier. It's actually done by the interpreter. I don't have really almost any code to do it. Search for the like operator. Just Google MSDN for like operator. I never knew this thing existed. I've been doing string searches, and I started out to write some code today to do some string searches that accepted these wildcards. And I was like, wonder if there's any, common approach to it that's been done out there. So I just hit some Googling, and then I came across the like operator. I didn't know that thing existed. Well, I knew it existed, but I was told to never use it. I read never to use it. But in the instances that I had read never to use it, I can't really remember why, but they were sort of for different purposes. It wasn't sort of for what this purpose is. So I think it'll work out fine. I've done a bunch of testing this weekend, and everything seems to work as expected, like it would on the command line.
I think what that's been replaced with in the .NET area is regex.
Oh no, I've got regex too, but there's no like is in .NET too. That's how I first found it.
But I mean, if I did a search for character replacement like this, I think I would end up with lots of regex examples.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I've got regex too. That actually is just as simple, almost as simple as the like operator. But I'm not going there just yet. I don't really think that that's necessary for this type of definition at all. I think maybe for the duninstaller stuff, I want to implement regex, but that was that actually is done. I think Microsoft Scripting Runtime or something does that automatically for you too. It's just a matter of writing a quick function to pass it the appropriates, and you'll get your Boolean back. So yay, new definition format stuff's coming out for peoples.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like the link idea because we already need that stuff on the site anyway for all the other definitions. So
Of course. Of course. But of course. So, but you got that with this, right? Like
yeah,
the concept of, okay, so what we're going to do then is then just convert everything on the fly when the definition is saved, so the definitions will always be saved in this format. Perfect.
I think for the crypto prevent one, I'll just have it show up as what it converts out to, if that makes sense. So it would look just like they had saved SQL/Windows, but it'll
Right,
save as.
So you're just saying it'll appear in your list box as what it actually is.
Yeah.
Now, what if it's? Okay, never mind.
Because, well, and I guess too, then that does bring up the question for me of if someone is just trying to monitor program data, Microsoft Windows start menu, and if I put that in, that's going to normalize to less than SM greater than, and that would read it as all 4 of those paths.
What, huh? I'm sorry, what?
So if I was using the normalization,
and
if someone just wanted to monitor program data, so under your SM variable there, if someone wanted to monitor just program data, Microsoft Windows start menu.
Why would they just want to do that?
Because people are weird. Maybe they don't care about the actual users ones. They only care about the generic everyone.
That would make no sense in a definition file for our purposes and intents. Right? I know, but I know that's weird, but people can't always have what they want.
For the app data one, there would be cases where you would only want to monitor something under roaming and not under something else, the local or local low possibly.
Right, so then you use AR. Or AL, or ALW, or PD. The AD just encompasses all of those 4. I didn't break down the start menu to separate. None of the user account and public user account stuff is separate, though. That's the only thing about any of these definitions that you can't break down to separate. Every user is taken into account, including the all users or public directory, as one thing, because there really shouldn't be, a differentiation. I guess not for text working on unknown people's systems, but I guess I can see your point for a person on their own system.
Yeah. So how would I choose between AR, AL, ALW, and AD? Because if I'm reading it programmatically, I would end up with AR, AL.
You're just gonna, I guess, go to whatever specifically it is. I mean, unless.
Yeah. So there wouldn't be a chance of me hitting the AD.
Like if someone puts in like a program data entry, then you would do PD, or an app data local do AL, and if if it's just app data, then do AD. But this allows, basically what this allows for is the technician configuring a definition file to select AD to encompass all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It may be that when you're doing a browse dialog in a consumer level app, it may be what you need to do is come out and ask the person if they browse to a path that would evaluate to more than one location, and just actually ask them for clarification. I don't know how to do that in a consumer level app again. I don't know how to do it well in a tech level app, obviously, but
I mean, other than
clarifying these differences for people, I mean, you know.
Yeah. Other than just saying a message box.
Mm-hmm.
Press yes if you want to include all of these paths. Press no if you want to include just the path you specified.
Yeah. With a help button for if you don't know.
So if we do it that way though, and we do want to include those, I guess we have to decide if we're going to use environmental variables or if we're just going to put the full specific path.
I think if they want a specific path, we put the specific path.
Okay.
Otherwise, we use this system.
And then if the definition file has a specific path, it just processes that path.
Mm-hmm.
If it has a variable, then it converts the variable.
Yep, exactly. That's perfect.
Okay, that's not bad.
Awesome. That's perfect.
Well, to give everyone else an update on the status there, I've been working on Crypto Prevent tirelessly, and I was planning on having it available for testing internally today. It might take a little bit of time, like late this evening, to get all this portion in, but I'm ready to get it to you guys anyway so that you can start telling me what all the stuff I need to fix anyway, because I'm sure you're going to find other stuff like that that I didn't think of.
Mm-hmm.
James Correct is ready. He's ready.
Mm-hmm.
We're close, James. We're very close.
I'm ready too. I am ready too. Gosh, I'm ready.
Closer than you've ever been.
Well, and surprised me that I put in so much time. I had 12 hours over the weekend. Over 12 hours I put in just over Saturday and Sunday. And I had Wyatt here. And on one hand, I'm like, how did I get all that done with Wyatt here? And on the other hand, I was like, that's great. And then on the other hand, I'm like, gee, how did I manage to get all that done with Wyatt here? That's not so hot. But
yeah, no, I was surprised that you joined the Friday show even.
Yeah. Well, he starts watching these movies and playing games and stuff. Watching videos on playing games. Other people playing games. That's like all he wants to do now. I'm like, oh my. Is it that? Are we that lazy now?
Yeah.
You gotta watch videos for other people playing games.
They have entire websites dedicated to that. Isn't that what Twitch is?
Yeah, I think so. Twitch TV, yeah.
Yeah. Anyone out there, if you haven't checked out Twitch, you can watch other people play video games, which is about as entertaining as watching other people play sports, in my opinion. So,
I also saw there's a website now where well, we've talked about this before, where you can watch people code.
Yeah. What was that one?
I don't remember. I've got it up here in my link somewhere, but watch people
Just
code.
Google Twitch for coding. Livecoding.tv.
Livecoding.tv.
Oh, and they have a subcategory programming under Twitch.
Hmm.
I'll post those links here.
Amazing what the world's getting to.
I mean, people like watching sports, and that's my same theory against it. It's like, why don't you just go out and play basketball? Wouldn't that be more fun?
Mm.
Oh, stop that! Stop.
I do completely see the point in watching like competition coding or something, you know, because, or just coding because at least you can learn something, pick something up. But
I mean, that could still be applied to the
oh, it
sports.
it most definitely could, and
Like,
would be in my case.
yeah,
I have yet to watch anyone code, but
But no, I mean,
it's always been on my agenda. I just don't have the time. I'm coding myself.
Yeah, watching other people do stuff does make you better at it, I guess. That's like what a lot of the training in like all your football movies is they're watching the other team play so they can figure out how to beat them. So I don't know. I just don't like the. Oh, we can talk smack about James now.
Mm.
He's not close to the keyboard. What's funny is you're always AFK because we could just not mention it, but we've never.
I know. Yeah.
We would never do that. Please, everyone, join our live chat and talk to us.
Live World of Sports Coding Edition. Good one.
Here we are at the Winter Olympics for our annual Java Challenge. Today up, we'll be programming a dart game.
I cannot wait until I get this stuff done. Gosh, it's the fact that I'm working on things that I've already worked on before, like a long time ago, like things that I've done before. You know, I'm just doing them again, making them better. But that is starting to weigh down on me because I really want to do the new stuff too. And I'm doing some new stuff at the same time, but I want the new functionality out there, just like other people do. I do.
Me too. Like, that'll be the nice part of just getting CPA'd out where it's all functional right now. That everything I do from then on will be adding new functionality in.
Oh, I saw something the other day, and it was one of those memes that I am constantly complaining about. And I'm going to share it with you all.
We're still looking at your. Oh, no, you changed it.
Let me figure out what I did with that thing. I put it somewhere that I would remember. James, you're back just in time to see me share a meme thing that I just got done complaining about.
Was that the programming thing that you shared on Google Plus?
I don't know. Yeah, it had
Is
to
that
be,
what you're
right?
looking for?
No, I don't
programming?
know.
The programming?
I'm not sure what I'm looking for.
About what programmers say?
Oh, here it is. No, it is not about what programmers say.
That was a good one.
It's this one. That guy made Super Mario and Zelda, and he's the head Nintendo honcho. He said that at some point. I don't know. He actually did. I read an article and got the quote there, but yeah, they just happened to have this in the article as well. So I thought, oh, that is awesome. And basically, I am talking about Crypto Prevent 8 and d7x here.
He died, didn't
Just
he?
no, he's kicking.
Who was the Nintendo guy that just died?
Oh hell, maybe that's why they had the article about him. I don't know.
No, Satoru Iwata,
Mm,
the president of Nintendo.
mm. No, this is the lead game guy, like the money guy, but the game guy. But yeah, man. So we have delayed game is what we've got, but it will eventually be good.
Although that doesn't always hold true, because Duke Nukem Forever was not.
Well, and that was my point, and I did specifically bring that up actually when I was talking to Jade about this, when I found this the other day, and I was talking to her about it, and I was like, yeah, Duke Nukem Forever took that long. When was it started?
Dude,
90
it was
what?
like right after Duke Nukem 3D came out. They were talking about
What year was that?
one.
Let's just Google this.
Duke Nukem 3D came out in 1996.
96.
And Duke Nukem Forever came out in 2011.
Yep. So 15 years. 15 years to make that damn game. That's crazy. So no, that's not always true. Yes, that's not always true. Well, I don't know. Is it good? Is the game good?
I have not.
It better be very good for 15 years. I know that.
Well, it's like I think Half-Life did the same thing with Half-Life 2, but they pulled through on that. Half-Life 2 is actually better for most people than Half-Life was. And Half-Life is probably the best game ever.
Mm.
And they're doing the same thing again with Half-Life 3. It's been in talks since 2 came out. Jeez, Half-Life 2 is over 10 years old now. It came out in 2004.
I don't know how we got off of this, but so we figured out what we're doing with the deaths, and I'm just going to make a note in here about this.
Half-Life came out in 98. James says, please do not take 15 years for d7x.
No. Not at all, not at all. Definition files to be saved in this format.
Hey, John, you remember that blue bone that you got Destiny? She's still eating it.
Nice. Those things are...
I think she just figured out that she could like chew on it and eat it. So now she's gotten to the point where it used to be that long.
Oh wow, yeah. Nice, yeah. Yeah, Sasha's got hers about it's about that size too, and I don't know if it used to be. I don't even know. But I know it has lasted forever. It was a blue brand elk antler something, antler bone, and it was expensive. Man, it was like $20, I think, probably
That's good though.
$25.
It's been like 6 months.
I know, and it's like when you look at that stuff that costs $5 and $10, and the nylabones and stuff like that, and the nylabones are pretty good too, but they get gone, man. They'll still get gone. Everything gets gone, but that stuff, I mean, that's just one of those examples of spending a little bit extra up front and getting a lot more in return.
Yeah, but you never
buying
know
the better.
things.
That's true. You do never know, I guess.
Because you don't know if they're gonna like it or not.
Yeah.
Like Destiny happens
Dead
to
animal.
like that one.
Dead animal stuff.
Yeah, but we have there's like a tire bone that like you could put biscuits and shit in that I thought she would really like, but she did not.
Mm.
I don't even know where it is now. But yeah, that was like $20 and wasted.
Oh,
For Destiny, it's just as good to buy her a $1 stuffed animal and let her tear it up and throw it away. Like these. We have tons of empty stuffed animals laying around our house. It's like gruesome.
wow.
Yeah. Oh, now she's all looking at it like, oh, I want that. I want that. You're holding it. I want it. Yeah, so this was like $10, $15 for this thing. And then it has biscuits that you can put in there. And she liked the biscuit when I took it out of here. She did not like the biscuit when I had it in there. And now she's chewing on the... Nope, she just let it roll away. She only wanted it because we had it. Go get it. Wow, you were super energetic this morning. Well, now we got all this good content. We have to publish this show.
Oh. Automatic conversions of any full real path during user selection, meaning a browse dialog or whatever, will default to the most specific variable. Like e.g., app data local will default to AL and not AD.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of any way programmatically that would fall out to AD other than prompting the user and saying, do you want to apply this to all app data paths?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I have to do the whitelist and the blacklist like that too, huh?
Yeah.
So y'all remember we had that show on converting a security camera or an old webcam and computer to a security camera.
I remember that.
I wanted to show off my security cameras that I had set up. Oh, come on, really?
Okay, so Brantley, there's actually 2 prompts then if we're looking at it like that. Just updated OneNote with them right now. So on that page, on that same OneNote page, at the bottom, have a bit that says automatic conversions of any full. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So so an automatic conversion of something, and that's we wouldn't, if you were to do an automatic conversion, it would default to the specific variable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're prompting someone, the thing that I just realized is we got to prompt them then twice for some of those things. The one prompt being, is this a specific path, or do you want to use the variable for multiple systems or multiple users? And the other thing is, you want the variable to apply to all users, or or all of these umbrella directories, or just this one specific variable. That's like kind of 2 prompts if you're wanting to do message box prompts. So really, like a customized dialog box that we, created would be the best. Actually, you know what? Are you familiar with working with task dialog, the Windows task dialog? There's also an interface for it. I think CodeJock has a task dialog as well that functions similar or the same. I would probably use that actually, CodeJock's task dialog. The gist is it's like the Windows Vista style task dialog, which is like the enhanced message box, but it allows you to do radio buttons and check boxes and like a little expandable more with like more info and stuff like that. You know those boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be the way to go, because then that would allow us to squeeze the multiple selections on there where necessary.
John.
Yo.
I have to meet with the Your Way Computing Yellow Page ad rep for a few minutes, and I'll be back.
Okay. Hopefully that's not any more difficult to work with in .NET than it is in mine, in VB6, because it's actually pretty easy to work with, I think.
It didn't look too bad from what I was seeing.
Yeah. Not like the tab control.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So check out my security system. I just have 2 old webcams set up off 2 different laptops. This one's going off our carport, and this one's on our front door. So now we can see when people come up, or squirrels running across the yard there.
Squirrel. Purple squirrel.
Yeah. And this actually worked out well because there's a automatic light that turns on and shows this area at night, and this I always have my porch light on, except on Halloween, so you can see people day or night and don't have to worry about night vision and all that stuff. I just need one more for the back of my house, and then I need to set up another monitor to monitor them all. I do really like the new Windows snapping. I think before it only used to give you windows that were on the same window or screen. Now it gives you all the windows you have open. Let's pick
All that
these
together.
options.
Okay. Okay.
Undertaker, that is 2 separate PCs. One of them is my old Sony Vaio that's been sitting back there, and the other one is a netbook of Johnny's that she didn't use anymore. They are also both set up with the built-in webcams to take pictures of inside the house, and both the cameras on each of them have it set up so that motion detection takes pictures and then it uploads through Dropbox. So anytime motion is detected, it'll take a picture, or actually a series of pictures, and then it'll save it to a Dropbox file, and then that automatically gets synced to Dropbox for off-storage location. Works pretty well, actually. So I have the front outside covered and the inside covered on those 2 locations. And that's really nice because if someone breaks in the house and they come and steal the laptop, they have to walk up to it. And it's going to be saving pictures to Dropbox that entire time. Unless we have a smart burglar, and I'm not going to go into the ways of how they could circumvent that. But do note that they are on laptops, so they have backup batteries built in. That probably just gave too much of it away right there.
Well, barely a backup battery.
This is what I like doing to Destiny, taking 2 of her toys and putting them together. She looks at me like I'm crazy. Like, what are you doing? Are you kidding me? That's not how that works. Now your stuffed animal rolls. Now she's upset with me. Alright, did we have anything else?
I got the notes in the OneNote right now. And we were going to let me just recap what we were doing with the Kill 'Em All integration, so I know what to do.
Okay.
And actually, a bit of this will have to recap off the air because it involves the launch method. But
yeah,
the gist is, as far as launching Kill 'Em All, what do we decide on doing that when they launch Kill 'Em All from the interface, from CryptoPrevent's interface? Is it message box prompt? Do you want to do this and then terminate and then display interface with results, or how are we doing that? I forgot. Were we doing interface with results at all? Was that?
I mean that side's up
I
to
wanted,
you.
I know I wanted that to be available. I did want that to be available to
Yeah.
everyone, but I didn't.
And I would say if we do it from the interface, then launch Kill 'Em All's interface and results. If they do it from the system tray, just do the prompting and don't show results.
Okay. All right.
Unless you want to do like a summary results, like kill X a number of windows or something like that.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's usually what I want. You know what? Should we could do a display results or never bother me with this info again, or
That would work too. But I would think if you launch it from within the app, then you can just always have it.
yeah.
The
I
system
wonder.
tray, one that I would say.
Let's see. What I was just sitting here wondering was if it would be worth it if someone launched it from the system tray. If Kill 'Em All should stay active. Oh, no, never mind. I will just do that. Will be in a future version. I'll just worry about that later. They just won't get to see the results. That's it. I'm sorry, a sec.
What puppy? What puppy? I can get it. I'll get it. Arr.
I guess the thing I'll bring in later is saving the information on the previous results and then pulling that back up. But we'll worry about that some other time. With the future revision. Okay, so I'll just do. So
I really
we
like
have
your
the.
idea, by the way. I did
Oh.
want to put it out there. I don't know if you want to, if that's disclosing trade secret info, but
What
do you know
idea?
which idea I'm talking about?
No, like I don't even know what topic we're talking about.
For Crypto Prevent, the one you had over the weekend about the tools.
Oh, the tools. Oh yeah, thank you. No, that just occurred to me, and that's not. I wanted to, and I'll tell them I wanted to just in the Crypto Prevent have a drop down, and my idea was like a just. However it wants to be done best, but my first idea was a drop-down menu from the top. And maybe it can say something like, I think it needs to be a little more than just links to decryption tools because we want, but that was the gist of it. My idea was, hey, let's link to all the known decryption tools. But then, I don't know, that's a little weird and scary to be in the app like that. But
well, that's
I'm
what
thinking,
I was kind of thinking, like, do we label that menu as, oops, it didn't help, here's what you can do.
I know. I know. Whoops.
No.
But I was thinking we could it could be part of a like what to do if, somehow we could sneak something in there like what to do if
Well, I mean, we have had several times where
what to do if you suspect you're infected, and then we could link to a few resources to let people figure out for themselves, and maybe some antivirus scans and some other things, online, not just the decryption tools.
We have had several times where people have called us up wanting to install Crypto Prevent after they've gotten crypto on their system.
That's true. And yeah, and but
you can get to the description stuff.
But the cool thing I was thinking about for the list of the actual links that would go into this menu or whatever is that we could just update them from our server as new ones are added without having to update the app, So we could just like add a link or change a link or remove a link if it's dead or.
Well, that's kind of why I was thinking maybe just doing it as blog posts and having links to those posts in the app.
And from the app, yeah. Yeah, we can just do that too. That would make sense too.
Extra info page, and then we could have.
While that would make sense too, if we did it the way I'm talking about, we could also share the list as an updatable D7x. Like D7x has the list of AV removal tools right now, and it's not updatable. Well, I could add those, and have all of this stuff updatable. Fuzzy. So, write that down actually, because I didn't even remember that I had that idea.
Mhm.
That's how I do. That's how I roll. Mm. But yes, other than that, I guess we're done, right?
I think so. Oh, if no one, I know no one here has, but Walking Dead, oh my gosh, craziness.
What?
This season is.
Do you have the last night's episode? Can you put that in the what you call it?
I don't have that, and no, we don't do that.
Oh, I'm just joking, man. It's on my DVR. It's on my DVR.
Yeah.
I think it is. I'll bet.
That and Leftovers. Those two seasons. These seasons of those two shows have been incredible.
I said, I said, she could.
Alright, anyway, I think we should go ahead and say that's our show, folks.
Yep, that ibbity, that's all, folks.
Hope you'll have a great start to your Monday. Hope it started off better than ours. We will see y'all tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yep.
Internet.
Later on, James and Glenn.